Well, boy, it's been an exhausting day. I did a lot of walking. I went to that second O'Neill's pub, and of course that was much further than I thought it would be. It probably took me 20 minutes or so. On the way back, I popped into to the local supermarket and the Express, and I got this wine this time. You can see the label. This one's a little over, this is about 3.25 euros. I think it was on special. Carrefour Express. So I bought that, I got another baguette, and now I've got my spinach. I can have myself a nice, healthy meal today. Yesterday, the wine I had yesterday was okay, except a bit watery. It didn't have the body that say a Cab Sav would have. It's a difference. It was quite nice. This one again is actually a 2014 vintage, as was the one yesterday. I mean, it was fine. It just didn't. I would have just loved something a little more substantial, but it was fine. It was good, and it went well with food. And I mean, 3.5 euros is pretty damn cheap, $6 or so, and this one's slightly cheaper again. So if it's as good as the one yesterday, hopefully it's got a little bit more in it, but we'll see. But I'm looking forward to having a meal. And that's all I ate yesterday. It was just this. I had this one baguette and the ham and the cheese. The fridge there is absolutely useless, so I wouldn't want to be keeping the cheese and ham in there for very long. The freezer next to it's working fine, but the actual fridge is absolutely stuffed. There's a giant lump of ice on the right hand side, so it just hasn't been looked after. They need to look after this stuff here. I mean, this is not a cheap place to rent, and I think they could do better. But the one good thing about yesterday, though, I found I could use my memory stick in. Where is it? Here. There it is. I put my memory stick into the TV, and I was able to watch the stuff I transferred over, and it automatically detected it had a memory stick in there, and actually just then asked you whether they were videos or photos or what form of media it was. So that was quite clever. That's the first time I've come across that technology. It actually ran very hot, but it worked okay. So that the actual memory stick itself ran quite hot when plugged into the TV. But yeah, I saw a new vampire show which is actually showing a lot of promise. I'm about halfway through it, and I've got all the episodes of it, and we'll just see how it develops. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, it was good because I was absolutely buggered yesterday and I didn't feel like going out. But today I feel more human. I finally got back to my old self and happy to do a lot of walking. I've walked quite a few Ks today and I feel better for it. I'm feeling tired, but in a nice euphoric way. So that's good. So I'll hit the tapas bars tomorrow probably, I think. But it doesn't hurt to save a little money initially, and then I'll indulge a bit more from then on, because I've actually provisioned plenty of cash, so I should be fine. Okay. Weather-wise too, it was quite warm out, 35 degrees when I was walking back, and I thought it might have been about 36, but actually I think it was 34. They said I looked online, but it felt warmer. It felt like it might be like 37 again. But I had been walking a fair bit today, so. But like I say, it's good to do. All right, I'm going to get into my food. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Look at this place, isn't it amazing? It's 9 o'clock in Seville. Just throwing my rubbish out in those bins over there. And this is just down the end of my street. You see all these little crisscrossing places all over the place. I'm going to try to find Triana Market. The place actually doesn't get any light until about 8 o'clock. Because of daylight saving, so it's got to be 8 in the morning before it even gets any light at all. So it's only been light for about an hour. It's just starting to come up, and of course you get more light at the end of the day, so that's the bonus. But
Yeah, it's still pretty quiet around here. It is Spain after all, and they do like their late starts. So there's a few people that are out here obviously working, but overall pretty quiet. I'm not even sure with I think if the Triana market should be open. I don't think that's an issue. I also want to get some greens today. Desperately need to get myself some spinach. Espiniacus, I think it's called. Espiniacus. Well, we'll find out. That's what I'm going to try to say. If I see it at the stall, I'll just grab it anyway, so it won't make any difference. Yeah, I had some rolls yesterday. We could put some spinach in. It'll make it a whole lot healthier than just ham and cheese. But that wasn't expensive. The Carrefour Express is quite decent. So I'll just do an explore today. I feel a hell of a lot better than I did yesterday. I just needed a day to recuperate after the trip. It took me another 24 hours of rest to recover from it. 4 flights takes it out here. Anyway. I'm feeling a hell of a lot more refreshed, even though I woke up pretty early. I woke up about 3ish and didn't actually get out of bed till about 5, so pretty early start still, but I do feel a lot better than I did yesterday. So I do want to do some walking. So I'll just keep going down this main road and across the bridge, and then the market should be a little further down. So fingers crossed they've got some nice greens available. That's what I really need. I don't have to cook them either, I just have them raw, especially spinach. I eat it raw. I think it tastes fine. So there's actually a vegan place down here. It's in another market down this way. They're probably not open yet though. I think that's sort of a market, but people rave about the food there. But that's because they're vegans and they're happy to have anyone actually cater to their needs. Of course, they're getting very bad press at the moment because there's actually quite a radical vegan element, and they certainly don't do any favours to their cause. Yeah, very quiet at the moment. Look at those mobile towers. They're not doing me much good. I can't make a damn phone call on the mobile I've got. I might test it out for see if I can use data. It says I've got a signal, but the signal looks strong, but I wasn't able to make a phone call on the first day when I got here, which I needed to do to contact the Holy Rent place. Not that I understood any much English. I was quite surprised at that. I thought a place doing rentals like that would have someone who's able to speak English. It's just quite staggering in that industry. I don't expect most Spaniards to be able to speak English, but I do expect people in a travel industry too. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, here's the major road coming up. Or Cali, as they call them over here. Well, I'm just around the corner in the main drag next to the river, the main river. Now look at this place, Steampunk Bar, Monkey Piper. Interesting name. So that's the river over there. And now I'm just going to be heading up this way so I can get across the bridge, and then I've got to do a right-hand turn, and then I should be in the street that so I'm in a Centro, in a district called Centro, and then when we go over that bridge we get into Triana, which is another district of Seville. So we'll see what happens, see if my directions are okay. Like I say, if I've actually got data working on this damn phone, which I never seem to be able to get, I'll be able to use GPS, which will be good. Not that I need it for this shorter trip, I don't think, but overall quite handy. And I've never really used it much. I never had the real data allowance. I've only got a couple of gig, but I think that'll be enough, because I'll be doing all my surfing and everything back in the apartment, so I won't be using up that much. I don't know how many establishments here have got Wi-Fi, but we'll find out. Anyway, this is the road I've got to cross. This could be hairy, I don't know where the crossings are. Oh, over there I guess, people are waiting there. So. Oh yeah, there's a crossing there. Okay. It's a bit busier than Cairns. Down that way where I've stayed in the past. I'm not too far from where I used to stay. Here we go. Yeah. Those are the bikes that are for, you use your credit card, you can take those bikes around, the numerous bike paths around here. I'm going to try a different option myself. There's more of them over there too. Yeah, I want to go to a local bike place to rent it. It's about €12 for 4 hours, I think, which is quite reasonable. And I think you can get them for 8 hours for a discount, but I couldn't be bothered. I think 4 hours is more than enough. So I'm up 2 flights of stairs, so I can't really take it back to where I'm staying if I want to break up my bike trip. So I think it'll just be one lot. 12 euros will do me. A bit of construction over there. Yeah, people going to work. I'm sure they'll be doing dribs and drabs for quite some time. So, it's a pretty river. A nice view here. Yeah, very nice river. Very affluent place. Used to do a lot of trade here years ago, and that's what made it so affluent. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.